a Lissandra pick. Oh, the BDD inside. Man, I would love to see a Zoe as well. I'm going to throw that out there. Let's just go down the champion pool. It's game 4. The pick ban, G2 on blue, and Rumble's already gone with Ambessa. Remember that Sion's not available there, so top lane has shrunk massively.
They literally pinched Myrwn's top lane pool. You think that virus is for Supa? You'd be wrong.
Yeah, true,
that
actually.
That is, in fact, a Myrwn type ban. The Morgana going to come through once again. So Sejuani, a premier jungler, available for the taking. But you got to remember, you get later into these drafts, and Yunara is able to slip through the draft. And of course, G2 is not going to waste any time in picking that champion up. I'm also thinking about in the jungle position, Lee Sin, Viego, Vi, all these kind of skirmish heavy engaged junglers. Oh, and quickly MKOI are going to grab themselves that along with Nautilus.
Buttons. I'm surprised to see the Yunara slip through, because a lot of the answers that we generally see in that bottom side into her are kind of gone. Like, oftentimes you'll see things like the core key to try and match up into her, but unless they're trying something funky, I'm curious what Supa wants to try and bring out as an answer into this.
And also, what do you pair alongside it? Because Enchant is into a hook champion, not ideal, but the Renata, bit of an old school answer into the Nautilus. I've always wondered where the Renata has gone from the meta. I feel like she's such a great disengaged champion alongside the Braum, but in the meta, it feels like many favor the Braum over the Renata, but it looks like now with the pool so pinched, she's going to make a resurgence.
Yeah, especially good answer into the Nautilus where you can get the handshake on the disengage and onto the Vi with the hostile takeover. Cassante in the top side for Broken Blade as well. So G2 very much setting up as a anti-dive composition and protect the Yunara style.
So what do you
over the Teemo?
Never. Are we going to pick top here or match 80 carry?
Okay.
Ooh, in the ladder, and yeah, a bit of range now as well, already on that point.
I do love Jinx late in a series. I feel like that she's just, especially when the tension really mounts and the pressure is on, I feel like that while you just leave a Jinx to sit back and farm, she just needs one kill in a fight, and all of a sudden she starts to snowball out of control.
It's also, when you look at G2, they've kind of now started to set themselves up, as we said, that like anti-dive, protect the Yunara style, but now opting in towards the Jinx, you do actually have good range in your composition, and you can try and play out the fights a little bit slower, try and land some of that poke with the Jinx, and then try and play into it. So I'm wondering what the next couple of rotations could be. I like what G2 are kind of looking at. It's like, get rid of the Aurora for Myrwn, get rid of these things that can bully the Cassante in the top side, maybe even a Jace as well, and just deny some of these things that can play at range and poke you on MKOI side.
You know, we talk about the G2 pocket picks, but it was Jojo that brought out the Kassadin, kind of out of nowhere in spring, and they even commented afterwards, oh, we didn't even scrim with it, I just thought it was a Kassadin angle, so I went for it. And I'm curious as to whether or not he's got something prepared for today, or perhaps he just finds something that feels good in the composition. Skarner going to be the other one removed. So I wonder if SkewMond, like, he's a big Viego player. I don't know if it's necessarily the best pick here, but just considering some options when you get later into a series, comfort tends to take priority over what necessarily is the best, especially with your limited options. Curious what direction they end up going. Is the Victor going to be the final ban for G2? No more bans available for either side.
A bit of disengage. EU Tree is also up and available, I will say. We haven't seen a Maokai yet today. It's actually banned. No, it's banned. And the Poppy. What the hell is going in jungle for G2? I was so confident. But that's because the priority on jungle bans has been really good. Remembering that Morgana is a pocket pick. That is a flex. Aatrox into a tank matchup is going to be the focus here for MKOI. It's going to be Gnar instead. There's a good amount of setup. This is just a good, well-rounded comp so far.
Yep. Very balanced on the side of KOI, and they can give Jojo counter pick. Remember, his Yone is up. I don't think they'll go for it, simply because of the lack of AP that would be available.
Is it a Nunu angle?
Oh, for SkewMond.
Yeah.
You're actually not wrong.
It is his pocket pick.
It is his pocket pick.
He's got decent engage. It's got decent heal if you want to try and play for it as well.
Good AP into the mix.
Yeah.
It's and an AD mid. Oh my God, is it time for Nunu? What AP, or is it just going to be Brand, or is it going to be Lilia?
I completely forgot about all the AP junglers.
Oh my God. Wait, let's hold. Let's believe. Let's just pretend. Zyra. Okay.
So
all right.
More disengage, more peel as well. It feels like that they're just, well, I mean, it's a double AD carry composition. It's all about playing front to back, playing to protect your AD carries. Cap specifically loves to play Tristana as a side laner, and she is very good at doing the job with a fast wave current and a lot of defense. It's also a difficult champion that doesn't have many weak matchups. So I'm curious as to what Jojo is looking at. They need some AP. And I mean, Ziggs would provide that AP, a lot of safety, and also just some pretty good siege from the side of MKOI. I'm thinking about how this comp all comes together. You've got that Vi going in, you've got the Nautilus follow-up, and then with the Gnar and the Ziggs providing good teamfight value, it does really feel like Supa is set up with the pieces around him to be a hyper carry in this game.
Yeah, I really like what MKOI have. It's a lot of non-committal poke that you can just try and play for, see if you land some damage, and there's very little kind of hard engage on G2's side. So you can just land a couple of Ziggs bombs, see what you hit, and then slowly but surely start to take your space. And when you find that moment of, okay, we've done enough damage, I think we can win an all-out fight, then you've got these go buttons in the Vi and the Nautilus. So I think patience can be the name of the game here for MKOI, just playing off of this long-range duo that they have in the mid and AD carry.
Well, I hope so, because for MKOI, it's the climb that's begun. It has been a long, tough series for them, but they're finally on the board. They are facing down the potential of starting a reverse sweep. Only twice in their history has it happened before. In 2023 Spring Finals versus BDS, which Labrov was on that roster. And 2021 Spring Finals versus Rogue, where Hans was on that roster. Coincidence? I think not. Can the fish swim upstream?
KOI have demonstrated in this series that they can get the better of G2. We'll see if they can continue the reverse sweep or whether G2 will shut them down right here. We're getting late into this series. We're getting to see some pretty interesting picks. A return to Tristana for Caps.
Yeah.
A champion that he became synonymous with when it was meta. It felt like that you couldn't CC him because his buffer timing on the W was just always perfect. Like, it felt like that no matter what the CC was, he always found a way to avoid getting hit by it simply due to the timing of that buffer.
Yeah, she's kind of annoying. I feel like Tristana is like one of the most annoying champions because it feels like you can interrupt her rocket jump. But then if she does it at that, what, 0.5 second margin, what a pain it is to actually press any CC on it. Okay, Mr. Funny name. I probably shouldn't say your name. It sounds like something naughty. Now, Caps on Tristana in this game is part of the double AD carries we talked about with Hansama, but SkewMond, sole AP in the comp. Hard to itemize against it. I mean, this is the power of it. And you look at that draft on the other side. Like, do you itemize against double AD carry? Of course you do. You're going to itemize against AP jungler? No. I've got a Ziggs. I've got a Jinx. So for MKOI, it might be difficult if SkewMond gets ahead of the game. What do you reckon, gents?
I think it can be difficult for anyone who gets ahead of both sides. Barrier burnt already behind Sam in the trade as they go pretty aggressive to get to level 1. Both sides have insane turret taking potential and also the ability to just run you down if like Yunara is able to chase you down, especially with the speed up from the bailout onto Hansama. It's just a lot of it then comes down to like how does Elyoya interact with the lanes to try and get these early leads and win out. And I think that's where it becomes a little bit easier with the Vi to try and set up plays.
Rocket jump with explosive charge as well. Reset incoming for Caps. He gets good chunk and rocket jumps his way out instead of continuing the engage.
My goodness. Again, I love watching these two mid laners fight up against one another just because they test the absolute limits. Again, you just look at the HP bars on the left and right side of your screen, and it's the mid laners that find themselves both insanely low. Jojo with fantastic accuracy on those Ziggs Qs, really chipping away at Caps' HP bar. Caps going to get level 3 though.
Narrowly dodges that bouncing bomb as well. Early back here for Jojo to get tier in the matchup. Caps will receive the wave and then maybe match and do the same thing. Labrov gets pushed here, handshake misses. MKOI hard up against the turret for now as the dredge line misses too.
So it's going to be the Dark Seal on reset for Jojopyun. So probably going to go for that Luden's Echo build, just a bit more burst damage. Especially because, again, there's not a huge amount of backline threat here on G2.
Look at the clear speed from SkewMond as well. Elyoya was on Gromp once SkewMond had already cleared through his jungle. He's now looking to contest the blue buff. He has Smite available.
Grasping Thorns would be nice here, waiting for it. Smite is done. Elyoya dodges away from the grasping roots, but instead, now that he's out, I mean, he's just got to go make his home somewhere else. Top camp's already gone.
Well, he's got to go for the top scuttle crab. He knows that he can't contest the bottom one, and this is why, for a long time, we've seen Zyra be used as an answer into Vi. First of all, the clear speed. It's just so much faster in favor of the Zyra that you get to do plays like we just saw on your screen. And secondly, she wants to dive in. Oh, actually, she's threatening a dive right now.
Can do so from range as well. Super handshaked in, hit with AoE, flashes away. Labrov has got the handshake on him rather than bail out. He does get bailed out, but it's a trade in the end. 80 carry down as SkewMond stands his ground, and Hansama picks up the first kill.
They still managed to get Supa as well, so he's going to lose out on all this wave. So G2 got to be happy enough with that, even if Labrov couldn't keep his life.
You'd think, oh, well, at the very least, Supa trades 1-for-1, so he himself gets a kill. But as you highlighted, the loss in experience, the loss in farm is going to hurt him so much in this early game. 480, well, basically 500 gold is the difference between the 280 carries now. That's
huge. Already, that is massive. That wave finally pushed in. Alvaro can't do anything about it. And a back timer here for Hansama in the bot lane. Labrov has already used that timer to make his movement around the map and maybe set up the false swap or look for pressure through mid. Jojo still has satchel charge and Elyoya is there. You're right, Labrov could be in danger. Handshake out, runs towards the fire, Vault Breaker in. But again, the follow-up isn't going to come through as SkewMond is also on the top side of the map.
Renata making his way to the mid lane as well. If the Nautilus have been there as well, I think G2 could have fully committed, but a bit nervous as to where SkewMond was. Still, Caps being rained down on with these bombs. It's not exactly having the best of times here.
My goodness, Jojo just continues to be so accurate with these skews. Gold lead ever so slightly in his favor as he's built up a bit of a CS advantage.
And it's also because, again, the Tristana will get that range with time. But in this early stages, she has to walk up to the creeps, and Jojo's just doing a good job of using these range creeps to constantly land these bombs and making sure that every time Caps goes to get one of his own range creeps, he's getting harassed. And now MKOI in a really good spot off of mid-wave and can start to shift around once more.
Luckily, Cap's not going to be dove for now. SkewMond is in bot lane, level 5. Waiting in brush. Alvaro not going to face check, goes the long way around. Elyoya moving in as well. SkewMond's going to go in first, puts a control ward, gets stretch line in. He face checked this brush and he gets whacked for it. Good vault breaker from Elyoya, but immediately disengages because Labrov with a handshake, he's danger too. Doesn't connect, Alvaro walks it out, but on the way down is also Supa. And SkewMond has to back off and pay respect.
Should be G2, or I was going to say MKOI being able to get vision towards this dragon, but G2 doing a good job of using those honey fruits to get the health back up.
SkewMond hit 6, by the way. SkewMond is level 6.
Yeah, I mean, this Zyra is quite scary. And notice as 2, they're zoning away 3. Caps is being pushed due to the wave clear coming through from Jojo. Bot lane going in favor of Hansama, though. He's close to level 6 himself. And it's G2. I feel like in game 2 and game 3, KOI, throughout the early game, was just playing with their pressure super well. They had really good matchups, and they leveraged that to convert it into early objective control. But here in game 4, G2 is doing it to them, leveraging the clear speed of the Zyra, leveraging the early advantage we got in the bot lane 2v2.
That's charge. Mega Inferno Bomb. Caps gets out of range. Jojo gets a heavy chunk of the explosive charge, now at half HP for both. Stretch line. Labrov walks in, he face checks. He's on chompers as well. This is easy auto attack even with the exhaust, but Supa in the end can't reach the last autos of Labrov. Maybe the exhaust just saved his life.
They might threaten a dive here.
They're going to keep going on. Hansama has his Transcendence available. SkewMond still with the Strangle Thorns up and available. The AoE is going to be a paradise for this Zyra. The Thorns are out. No dredge line escape. Double knockout. Flash away. No trade yet. Hansama picks up kill number 2. And with plates going down, that is an 800 gold lead just about for Yunara.
G2 are completely taking over on this bottom side. It was a risk from MKOI to leave open the Yunara, but G2 are putting so many resources into Hansama, and it's looking like it might pay off.
Ball in again, no mana on Jojopyun. There is a reset here from Caps, but he's not going to take it once again. Buster shot held on to here, but things are getting a little bit sticky in the mid lane once again. Myrwn is close to getting knocked back and altered for death, but the Broken Blade also ran out of mana.
Elyoya was doing what he could to get something back. We can see how quickly SkewMond is clearing through the jungle, even stealing camps whenever he has an opportunity.
Rocket jumps in with a Nautilus. He buster shots, explosive charge. Jojo not dead. Caps was close to pumping him. with a Nautilus in his face.
These two mid laners just at the very edge, the Jinx rockets. The Jinx rocket just barely. Ow! So close, almost hits onto Caps. He has to flash actually. We didn't quite catch it on camera, but he ends up flashing away to safety. While all that was happening, the grubs are secured by SkewMond, who is just running rampant through the jungle.
Jojo has come back with his TP. He's going to satchel charge return of this TP from Caps as well. He doesn't actually get the timing down of it regardless, as Broken Blade now sitting here against Supa and Alvaro. Hansama doing the same against Myrwn. Shadowed Elyoya is here with a cease and desist, all in from Myrwn. Hansama, ulti is available soon, but not right now as he flashes away. On the way out, he finally, I believe, gets that ulti. Yeah, that's how come he gets the enhanced dash and gets out alive, but both summoners are lost in the process.
Especially ahead of things like that dragon fight that's going to be up in just under 3 minutes time. Not having that flash can be crucial, especially if Myrwn may actually look for a bit more.
Once in with the ulti, flashes in, last breath of the ult, gets it! That becomes a solo kill. Myrwn does die in the end, it's a trade. But at least these minions are denied.
Well played, but we have to turn our attention to bot lane because the action doesn't slow down.
Oh, hang on a minute, getting Supa caught out, the ulti burned out, the roots are grasped and Supa's dead again. The Thorns have strangled one life now, helping for another. It's good dodging from Alvaro, but eventually he will die as G2's jungler is just everywhere. A gank up top, not getting a kill ain't good enough when SkewMond is 2-0-2 and running the rift.
Myrwn punishes Hansama for staying isolated on the top side of the map. But given that they knew Elyoya was on the top lane, they knew that they could make a play on the bot side. They punish both Supa and Alvaro. G2 get 2 kills off the back of it as well. And we'll look back. So you'll think that Hansama could actually get the kill onto Myrwn. You might be wondering why doesn't he try, and it's because of that rage bar. He knows that so much HP is going to come back in favor the longer he stays in that fight, so he has to flash away. But now he's overstayed, and Myrwn sees an opportunity to punish and get a kill.
He thought that maybe Labrov could get there in time, but Labrov actually going for the aggressive move here. Means that he isn't underneath the tower as Myrwn goes for it. Ends up trading 1-for-1, but again, it's all that CS and experience is lost with that massive wave that isn't going to Hansama. He's still fine.
He's still
earning 800 gold there and ahead in XP, but still would have been nice to hold on to that.
Cheeky little Raptor stolen from SkewMond, if only 1 for 8 gold, but the Leandri Zyra is in the enemy jungle. The fear right now as SkewMond is half a level ahead of Elyoya, and props to Elyoya. I think keeping up in this game with the early start that SkewMond had is really good, but it is getting worse, and with 1 item, SkewMond can just do that from over the wall. The full Crux taken, at least the small one should be received by Elyoya.
The difference is, in order for Elyoya to keep up, he has to invest all of his time focusing on clearing camps. Whereas SkewMond is so fast, he's clearing camps, he's got enough time to read the newspaper, he's taking a sip of his coffee, he's taking your grubs, he's taking your dragon.
You get a train to Beijing in that time,
he can
like
do
you're
so
telling
much.
us yesterday.
That's what I mean. He's just moving so quickly that it's difficult for Elyoya to keep up, and we're really not feeling Elyoya's impact on the map. Of course, he did just assist with that top lane kill. He didn't get a literal assist for it, but it was that involvement thanks to him and Myrwn where they were able to get that kill on the Hans.
A lot of pressure on this top side though. Labrov starting to clear out some vision, and with this wave being crashed in, Myrwn very far away from Gnar.
Oi, but Hansama's ulti, he's got the range in. Myrwn's getting Arclight ruined as well. It might just be a help of a solo kill, but SkewMond pops the ulti for the final tick of damage. Top is now over, and Hansama once again is getting full access to plating. Yes, first dragon for MKOI, but I am very worried that this Yunara, thank you for the correction, second dragon of the game, but first for MKOI. When this Yunara is getting everything in the game, Broken Blade can't do anything but stop Jojo as he gets plates himself, but guys, 2k gold lead for G2.
Yeah, it is a trade for Dragon, as you say. Broken Blade going aggressive on the bottom side to stop him being done. Perhaps good sidestep. And just going to keep up the pressure on this mid wave, as you can also see Labrov trying to push Elyoya off of these jungle camps.
Broken Blade is going to ult out as well. He's not yielding yet. And on to Jojopyun, all the damage connecting, tries to kite it away. Satchel comes up and he's dead. Solo kill by the top father. And top turret going down at the same time. It is a disaster for the KOI.
KOI is crumbling across the rift. This investment into the bot lane by SkewMond is paying off massively. Broken Blade finds himself a solo kill. The top lane is just falling apart.
Ran into a Nautilus, and with the help of Renata, bailout for Caps if he does die here, and die he does. All right, maybe jumping on Nautilus was a bit too much. Elyoya probably laughing as kill rightly goes over to Supa.
a much-needed kill. 2 to his name now. He needs to be accelerated as much as possible because he is the player that can turn this game around. We've seen so many Jinxes single-handedly win games before, and with the proper resources, Supa could be the savior for MKOI. But right now, the game state is looking dire as G2 have accrued a 3K gold lead, and we're only 14 minutes in.
Yeah, I think the hardest part for Supa is that he has to open up against Hansama consistently in this mid-wave, and if he can ever get on top of Supa, run him down, probably finish him off, and also just consistently getting control over this mid-wave, is just impossible for Supa. And now you got dragons that are coming up, you got Rift Tower that's about to spawn in a minute's time. This is where G2 could kind of leverage the fact they have so much control through Broken Blade and through Hansama to play towards this top half of the map. And you can even see Labrov, he's just pushing Alvaro out of this river with the amount of control G2 have.
One confident Renata. Jojo, though, trying to do something about it while the wards are getting cleared out. Jojo finally has his gun in inventory, but it's going to take a lot more than that. As bot wave is continuously defended, that turret getting low too. And with 3 grubs, you've just seen how easy it is for G2 to push these turrets. One mistake from MKOI and this gold lead expands, and I feel like the next mistake is going to be due in 20 seconds at Herald. MKOI need to lock in and decide, are they going to fight this objective, or are they going to swap sides of the map and get some gold?
It is going to be hard because you've got so many people covering on bot side. Oh, hang on.
There is an all-in. Satchel is okay. He held on this time.
But you got so many people on this bottom side, you can start to shift in towards this top half and get a ton of vision in this top side jungle of MKOI for G2. And the whole reason is because you have to invest both Elyoya and Alvaro onto this bottom side to try and protect Jojo. And if you don't, well, then Jojo has to abandon the turret, and Caps ends up getting the turret regardless. So just caught between a rock and a hard place is MKOI right now. Now they're going to start to move over towards this objective and force SkewMond away. But you've already got first move for Caps and Labrov up from this bottom side.
SkewMond, remember, has Seeker's arm guard as well. There's the engage. SkewMond pops the button immediately. Redemption comes down. Herald of 2K. The rocket is a miss. Flip back onto Myrwn, is zoned out. The eye exposed, stolen. Elyoya takes it and leaves, but Cap hops into all of them. He's got his first reset. Onto the second, interrupted. Elyoya nice for the buster shot. Keeps him away. The burn kills Caps. Meanwhile, into Gnar. G2 don't care. Broken Blade pulls out the Natofos. Hard pulls out the whip. And G2 chasing down MKOI for a 3-for-1 kill.
Elyoya gets the smite, but no one gets to pick up the eye. And G2 are winning the fight off the back. Labrov is chasing Jojo through the jungle as G2 look for the tier 2 on top.
And they're just taking everything. SkewMond is stealing Caps while he's sieging on the top tower. Supa is very low on this mid wave. Broken Blade is eyeing it up, but he's not going to overstay his welcome. Another tower is secured. The gold gap continues to grow as Dragon spawns in a minute's time.
It does feel very relevant to highlight that SkewMond here again. That Seekers bought the time they needed.
Yeah, SkewMond able to reposition here. Supa's rocket doesn't end up hitting. Elyoya can't really connect to it. Then he does end up getting in to sneak away the objective, but Jojo and Supa completely isolated in this fight. Caps jumping in with the rocket jump, gets an AoE slow. He falls to the red buff of Elyoya, but he'd done his job. It's just the slows doing the work, and G2 in the better positioning to have their carries deal the damage they need.
It was definitely a nice play from Elyoya to at the very least get something back.
Yeah, he did the best he could in that fight, right?
But yeah, the situation continues to grow even more dire with each objective that passes. I mean, the best news is that they did ultimately deny that objective, as you both highlighted, and it will slow the siege down a little bit. But yeah, SkewMond, as the chatter is saying, really is running the Rift right now. He's been involved in 80% of the team's kills. He's been investing so many resources into Hansama, and if you look at the gold difference at the bottom of your screen, 1.7k the advantage for Hans. That's reflected in the itemization, and the same can be said for SkewMond, with the Zhonya's fully upgraded a full item over his jungle counterpart.
I mean, it's huge right now, isn't it? SkewMond and Hans running the map as Labrov is going to face Ziggsi. Myrwn going into Gnar soon. Myrwn, though, has a whole team running onto his position. Alvaro needs to help defend. Death charge onto Hansama to stop the fight going any further. Good handshake. Stun doesn't connect. Myrwn still slowed down. He must Gnar and does. That'll help his life. But now with the Arclight of Ruin, gets the flash out of the dinosaur. He will live. Myrwn survives. But G2 will thrive in another dragon.
And Elyoya's on the top side of the map, but there's not much that he can play for. He's just going to be zoned away by Broken Blade as a dragon will go uncontested. Hansama is going to lose some farm in that mid wave. He's going to have to take the long way round. But ultimately, another dragon is secured for G2. And KOI they're limited on their options. Another bot tower will go the way of G2.
In a turret from Caps.
And you're just so far away from MKOI from hitting those items, right? Supa still needs 1.5 before he really becomes that big threat. Jojo not really in a position without the Horizon focus as well. So G2 just getting so quickly towards these massive item spikes. And now you're in a position where you've got the Rift Her, or sorry, the Baron. Not Baron. What am I looking for at the top left corner?
Atakan.
What am I? Atakan.
That's okay.
My brain broke. Atakan in the top left corner. That's going to be the main focus here for G2. And it makes it incredibly hard for MKOI to find position on the map to fight for it.
Now, quick reminder, as we're 5,500 gold, the game's not over yet. The series is not over yet. But G2, with the way they're looking, could be on their way to their 8th grand final consecutively. The last 7 grand finals, they've been there. 2023 spring was the last one they weren't, where they finished 4th. But every single other finals, G2's there. And this year, yes, it hasn't been great with their grand finals performances. KC first, then MKOI. But as Broken Blade face checks here, Summer, they just came back from MSI, from EWC, and performed out of their right mind in this split. They destroyed their group, and right now they're destroying MKOI in game 4.
But again, MKOI can always fight for that rematch. They will be dropped to the lower bracket if they lose here, and that's what happens.
Well, Caps, as he jumps on, Jojo pops him, almost rocket! Supa fixes it. Exhaust from Jojo. He satchel charges out. He's been berserk. He's hit, picked up. Renata rolls great, but Summer's isolated. The game ain't over yet. Hanzo, reset, failed out. Myrwn gets over the wall, finishes the deed. The all-out from Broken Blade delivers the kill. Elyoya was the one taken, but Broken Blade trying to 1v3. Shields up, Natofo, flips up, true damage mitigated. Elyoya survives and bops him. Shut down to Supa, and G2 are not finished in this series yet. MKOI live.
A massive punish by MKOI. G2 overstepped their bounds, and MKOI find a fantastic fight. Supa played that beautifully. It's Jojo that becomes the target. Caps, he tries ambitiously to make a play, and Jojo punishes him hard. Supa then activates his passive, and look at how isolated Summer is. And Supa flashes away from Broken Blade, then because of the bailout, Summer comes back in. I thought that he was going to live, but then Myrwn finishes off the job.
I mean, Broken Blade does a great job on the back of this to finish off a little bit more for himself. But the main point for me was more the fact that why did Caps go in? Like, SkewMond was in base. You have so many members of MKOI still on the map and the TPs to match. The second time now we've seen Caps over-eager on this Tristana in this game and causing issues for G2.
I mean, Caps has had a good series, but this is not his game.
It's not his game.
He's definitely made a couple blunders, and he is aptly getting punished for them.
But the game state, while mitigated from MKOI from that fight, is still in G2's favor. We come back, Atakan started. Top side of the map's going to be the trade for MKOI, but Atakan is such a big objective. SkewMond does it quick, and the trade-off is going to be this top turret that Jojo will take with ease.
Yeah, actually just going to let the creeps die instead. Wants to make sure that G2 loses as much gold on the map, as he does have the satchel charge to take it down if he wants to. But MKOI, at least showing that they still have some life, and if G2 don't play it correctly, can try and come back into this game. Because again, like 4 kills now on towards Supa, has finished the second item. The last Whisper would be fairly nice for this Jinx and maybe giving him a position that he can actually try and take down Broken Blade.
Yeah, Broken Blades. I mean, there's a long history of K'Sante versus Jinx. And let's just say that the K'Sante makes life miserable for Jinx.
Yeah.
So being able to shred through that armor is going to be a necessity.
I was just sitting there thinking, I mean, there's a long history of K'Sante versus any immobile lady carry, you know?
True.
I feel like...
Did I carefully select my words? Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did. Good one, Betty. Vault breaker. SkewMond face check, depth charge. He's doing Sonya's hourglass. Remember, the wild growth is now out. Stranglethorns, excuse me. Going berserk for the time being. That hostile takeover down as well. A couple of ultis used by G2. MKOI is starting to survive some of these face checks coming out.
But also, right as Dragon's about 30 seconds until it Caps.
Caps wanted to walk up, bouncing bomb on the full. Jojo, low on mana, but he has enough to blast Caps back to the past. And Elyoya's hovering down here. 20 seconds till Dragon. Health bar's blinking a bit here as G2 are focusing on Mintara for now.
Well, that's going to be an easy objective secured. Can they catch out Broken Blades?
It's going to be hard. The damage though from Supa, wow, it's great. It is good damage. Broken Blade's not tanking up yet. Super Mega Death Rocket almost kills him. Dredge line in. A zap onto SkewMond, narrowly avoided Myrwn with no Mega Gnar bar. So MKOI picking their fight wisely. Not yet. Labrov tries for a handshake angle. MKOI no, they back off. And this third dragon with the health bars, it looks like G2 are going to have it.
Jojo had just TP'd in and now he's just completely out of mana and doesn't have the presence that they really feel like they can make a play here. So MKOI going to back away, and what felt like it should have been an MKOI objective, G2 somehow managed to wrangle.
A situation where KOI, they're looking much scarier as the game continues. I'm keeping my eyes on those items from Supa. Jojo's still working towards his second completed. But Jojo, there's the Horizon focus now finished for him.
Yeah.
I keep being surprised by how accurate he is with these Qs. Every time Caps tries to walk up for a trade, he always takes a bomb to the face.
He played against APA for years.
That's true. That does make a ton of sense. And it's a really strong performance. He had a good performance on it last week as well against Fnatic. And the beautiful thing about Ziggsi is great wave clear. We've talked a lot in this series about a team's ability to siege, and Ziggs really does slow that down. And when you pair that alongside a Jinx as well, I think that MKOI have the tools to stall, but has Myrwn been caught?
He just lost Mega Gnar. Labrov needs a good handshake here. 4 members of G2 hovering around bot. The hop first, and Caps hops in second. Myrwn's dead in an instant. SkewMond buffers out the bomb with the Zonyas, puts down the Stranglethorn, buys time, sends out some roots, but the zap is good. Shut down. Broken Blade. What? He teleported in, but an all out. He's going to bring Elyoya over the wall, but the Pathmaker misses. Supa gets some damage down as well, but MKOI are in front of the Baron with some letters for Elyoya. It's up, sitting there. MKOI double down. They think, hey, G2 need to phase check, and still in the all-out. Broken Blade almost dead, but what a takeover! Caps bust a shot onto Jojo next. A rocket jump with the range, and Caps finally comes alive in his 4th game. But Labrov sold me that fight as Han Sama hits the nail of the Arclight of Ruin.
A very scary situation as SkewMond loses his life. MKOI threatened the Baron, but then Labrov with the incredible Renata ultimate completely changes the dynamics of the fight. Caps finds a nice angle, and just like that, MKOI's opportunity is shut down before it can begin.
It looked a little messy. Looked like Broken Blade had lost his mind for a second, but Labrov there in the wings, and now the pings are on towards Baron. MKOI, no Jojo, no Supa, and this thing will melt with Yunara damage.
But Supa's going to have ulti. He's got an ulti to send out. Supa, the hero of MKOI. 7k, a Mega Death Rocket they need vision for. At 4, it's coming in a little bit early, and it's blocked. Broken Blade at the edge of the wall, and Baron goes down to G2.
G2 now with Baron, 2 minutes until that soul. They should be able to keep this pressure up to start to threaten this tier 2 in the mid lane. And if MKOI is stuck in their base defending Baron minions, it's very difficult to get access to the map to try and look at a dragon.
MKOI, I'm thinking about what options they have at this point in the game. Vi is a very good champion at finding picks, but as long as Zyra and Renata are around, those disengaged champions are so good at stopping that. Maybe they found a pick here.
Myrwn needs to go into Mega Gnar though. Going to get these autos off and get that bar a little bit more yellow as a G2 still hovering around a minute 30. Dragon's up and it will be their soul. It feels like a defining point. And yes, Ocean Soul is not as strong as maybe some of the older souls in the game, but when I see this kind of front to back that has a double AD carry and a Cassante, it ain't the worst either.
The problem is though, if G2 are able to continue this pressure on the top side of Caps, he can very quickly take a tower thanks to this Baron buff, and Jojo can't really clear out the waves, so that's 1 point of pressure. You've got Han Sama that can continuously shove in these mid waves as well, alongside Broken Blade, and Supa, you can see how long it takes him for clearing these waves as well. Difficult to hold on to towers. G2 have so many ways to try and play this out. Now, I will say, it has been a little while and they haven't really gotten much, so maybe MKOI might actually be able to keep these waves away from their base, which would be massive for this Dragon contest.
We take a second to realize the stakes, as both these teams, of course, have already qualified for the World Championship. Both of these teams already have a spot in Madrid, but right now they're fighting for a spot in the finals.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed best of 5 to fight for that title. Labrov has found an angle. Maybe he's found a knot onto Supa.
Minion waves in the way, but again, a hostile takeover finds one man, an important one. Jojo is down. Summer, as he picks up that kill, didn't have to expend anything, or rather, excuse me, his ulti was burnt, but regardless, G2 have now opened up mid with it as well, and this Baron is finally going to start doing some damage.
A lot of the wave clear that KOI rely on has now been taken care of. The traps will be thrown down, but that's little to dissuade G2 as they secure their first inhibitor tower of the game.
Oh. And Alvaro's lucky he doesn't die with it as well. They could have opened G2 to try and end the game at that as well. Myrwn a new target. Gnar is running at half the fury now, or rather half the timer, excuse me, as next wave is pushing in through bot. G2, their siege continues. This would lead into double inhibitor down just before their soul is about to come up, and as it sits there waiting at 8,000 gold. G2 are going to run towards it now, and what hope do MKOI have of stopping it?
They need Myrwn to try and go towards Gnar if they really want to try and take the fight, but he's not anywhere close to it. Has just gone into his mini form. So G2 spreading out of the jungle. Caps wants to take the fight.
And onto Myrwn. He'll jump first, ask questions later. Myrwn is going into Mega, but will he survive long enough? He hops. He does get the ulti off his butt. The shot helps out as well. Caps gets burnt down by Jojo. Alive. Myrwn staying alive means so much, even though he dies. Now it's up to the rest of them. Now that Jojo's here, what hope does he have with Supa alongside him? 3K
Elyoya
for the steal, Elyoya for a game 5 potential. You need to steal the rocket, not in range. And another good ulti, he gets it. What? Elyoya got it somehow, but the game feels like it's in tatters because of it. Jojo tries to TP out. He survives, but there's only one man, and all of G2 remain.
Elyoya steals the dragon, but it will be G2 who steals the series. He thought he could hold it, they thought they could take it, but now the march down the mid lane continues.
MKOI feels like today they've been outclassed. It feels like in this upper bracket, G2 do what was destined of them. They have not missed the finals in 7 tries, and on their 8th, they will not start now. G2 secure their spot at the big stage at Madrid.
Game 2, they were able to punish the mistakes of KOI. Game 3, they fell short as KOI seemed to have found their confidence and decision-making. But here in Game 4, G2 never gave them room to breathe. SkewMond was a monster, shutting down the bot lane, running rampant on the map. And it ends up being a 21 kills to 9, a 30-minute victory. G2 once again, for the 3rd time this year, make it to a final.
Your player of the series, SkewMond, Caps or Summer. You can vote now.